In this video, we have a major goal of getting the dirt floor in our concrete house completely level so that we could come in and pour the concrete floor. So we're going to need to grab the laser level, mark it out, and make sure the floor is nice and perfectly leveled so that it creates a solid base. We also have a few surprises along the way that we need to take care of. We definitely have our work cut out for us, so let's not delay any longer and get right into it. Dog's in the video, so we can't kick him out. There's people commenting saying that we should adopt him, so we gave the internet what they wanted. He's not that bad of a dog. It could be a lot worse.
It could be a lot better too.
Well, yeah, but we've had him for like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 6 days. We need to train him, but like, it's a good start. Like, he at least listens a bit when he wants to. We're waiting for Caliche. They're still not here.
Yeah,
Nice.
I need to make a phone call.
Beyond that, I didn't get it on camera earlier, but we did have some people come by who are going to plaster the front wall and a couple of the side walls just so we could get that started. But anyways, they came here, gave us an estimate for the stucco, and they're going to start on that tomorrow morning. I'm assuming we're also going to be here spending the day tomorrow because I did take off the whole week from work just because I haven't been taking my PTO, and you should do that. Don't work all the time. So right now what Monica's doing is kind of leveling out all of this dirt that we put in here because this is going to be the foundational base for when we come in and pour the concrete flooring for the house. A lot of work. We still don't have a finished house. We're relying purely on gravity for our water pressure. Obviously, we don't have electricity. We don't have a water pump or anything, so just pure gravity and pressure in the hose. That's our water pressure. You like the water? No? Okay. Just bear with me really quick. The audio quality is going to be a little bit bad. Unfortunately, both of my microphones died, so I'm really sorry. But it's about 1:30. We're still waiting on the delivery of the material. They haven't made it here yet. For right now, I'm just going to take care of the tree real quick. Previously, we did come in and we pruned the tree, cutting off a bunch of the branches that are kind of growing into each other, and also opening up the middle of the tree to allow sunlight to come in and help the tree grow and produce fruit. But now that we're going to be keeping the dog on the property, we do just want to make sure that he's not able to mess with the tree. So it's not the prettiest, but it'll at least get the job done for now until we finish up the backyard. But I just did blocks too high. Hopefully this kind of discourages the dog from jumping in here. I mean, he still could, but like there's not really any reason for him to do it. But eventually when we level out the entire backyard, we're gonna do something different. So we'll kind of just think about some things that we could do. So we have the giant pile dropped off. It's whatever. The truck was a bit big, so we weren't sure just how far up here it could get, but it's here at least. But I'm just gonna start pulling it down as much as I can to at least fill in the super deep parts, just so we can kind of get the level started. But we're eventually gonna have to start bringing a bunch up higher in the driveway. And then we're going to have to do the angle downwards, but I can at least start on this part.
The next morning, the Albanil arrived to get started on the stucco. They started on the front wall, putting a thick layer on to make sure the surface is nice and even. In the first day, they were able to get the entire front wall done, as well as some on the entrance wall. The inside of the house is a mess, so we're going to have to start moving everything out so we could start leveling the ground.
Smile. There we go. Nice. It's just such a big piece. It's like literally we're thinking that like whole area.
Yeah, I think like there is even more.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we're running out of daylight, but we're currently working on the backyard because on the inside of the house, we do still have a bunch of dirt to move around so that we could get the ground level. We need to kind of get it to a base level of 15 centimeters. Then I think it's going to be like, yeah, because it's 8 centimeters of cement for the flooring. So 15 minus 8, 7 It's 7 centimeters of caliche, which is then going to be the base. That's going to be super compacted, and then we'll pour the cement on that for the flooring. Luckily, since we do still need a bunch of dirt on the inside of the house, we could pretty much take all of this that's in the backyard, kind of working it down to this level. So you still see there's kind of like a super thick level there. So this will all come out and we'll dump it in the house. Right now we're kind of working on the edge where when they were pouring the concrete for the Dala as well as the roof, there was a lot of excess that was running off, unfortunately, and that kind of all got along the base, along the Zapata. So we're kind of going through and breaking all of that up. And then we have a big pile here that was also from inside of the house, as well as some broken blocks that we found, but kind of just working on that for a few more minutes. The sun's going down.
The albanil has been absolutely phenomenal, getting the surface as even and smooth as possible. It's the return of the compactor, or bailarina as they call it. We need to compact the dirt and caliche as much as possible so it's a hard surface for when we pour the concrete. It's time to start adding the caliche and leveling the ground. We use 2 metal poles as a guide for filling in and smoothing the caliche. I believe they call this technique screeding, using the metal pole to smooth out the caliche. Every single inch of the floor was done by hand like this, so a lot of time was spent on the ground. So it's been a really weird week of getting work done here on our job site. We've been here all 7 days this week, and I just haven't really been able to film a whole lot of the process and the progress that we're making. But things are really moving along quickly, and some major visual changes have been happening. As you've seen in a few clips, Tuesday through Friday they were here stuccoing the exterior walls of the house. They started here on the front wall, going around to the side of the house, getting most of the side wall done. Unfortunately, they ran out of time. They do have some other work scheduled, so we're going to have to wait a little bit for them to come back and just finish the rest of that side wall and the back wall of the house. But as you can see, it is a major visual change on the house. They spent a ton of time detailing this, getting the walls as perfectly flat and straight as they possibly could. There was a lot of wonkiness with the walls. Some of the structural concrete supports were a little bit uneven. Some of the bricks were also uneven. But beyond that, while they were doing that, we were in here moving around a bunch of dirt. We got 2 truckloads of caliche, which is used as the base for the concrete floor. We spent most of the week doing this ourselves, Monica and I, so we didn't make a ton of progress. We were kind of moving a little bit slowly. It was just a lot of work, and it's been really hot. We're getting into the middle of April. It starts to get really warm here around this time, so kind of just been battling the weather, trying to do as much work inside of the house as we possibly could. Today's Sunday. We've been spending a lot of time bringing a ton more caliche in here. We put some metal poles down. Dog, you're moving the camera, bud. He almost took the camera with it. It's gonna look weird. I'm just gonna roll with it. This is a ton of work. I think we've gotten probably only a quarter of the house done, so this isn't going to get done today. Probably over the next few weeks, this is something that we'll work on, and then eventually the guy who did the stucco will come back, and he also does the concrete flooring, so we'll have him take care of that. And as you can see, we did end up adopting this dog. He kind of just showed up on this street one day and had been hanging around a bunch. About 2 weeks ago, we came in here, we grabbed him, we got him fixed and taken care of, and now he's been kind of staying on this property. We've been here all this week, so we've pretty much been with him all day, every day. Tomorrow, I'm going to be going back to work, but we're obviously going to be coming here every single day. He's going to be in the property, safe, with the gate closed. He has a ton of space to run around, and he's going to have access to food and water, so still better than living on the street. So he has a huge personality, but We named him Dog. We just thought it would be really funny to have a dog that's called Dog. And it's also, you know, based off of Dog in The Walking Dead, if you've watched that, but I think he likes it here. So we have these two metal poles down the side as a little bit of a form for us to pour the caliche into. The top of those poles are at about 6 centimeters, so that when we compact it down, it goes to about 7 or 8, which is going to create the hard base for the concrete flooring to be poured into. So I also have this pole going across that I'm using to smooth it out, kind of filling in any of the holes as well as removing any of the excess caliche, so it's not above the level that we want it at before we compact. I think I'm just going to need about 1 or 2 more wheelbarrows on this side to fill this in, but lunch is here. For lunch, we got rotisserie chicken, rostizado en más rostizado es más jugoso. It's very juicy apparently. And then we got tortillas, salsa, y rice.
But no spoon.
No spoon for the rice, so we're using nature's spoon today. So it's not gonna show up on the camera, but there's a green laser line right here. That is the ground level. It's not exactly even, thank you. It's not exactly even with the concrete zapata, but we kind of marked it all the way around and that's the floor level. I need to get this metal pole up to about 6 centimeters. So I gotta bring it up about, let's see, about 3 more centimeters so that the top of this metal pipe is aligned with the green level, so then we can continue filling this in just so that we can use this as the form and fill it in. So gonna take care of that real quick. And the entire time the dog is playing, he doesn't care about the quality of filming. Okay, slight adjustment. The top of the metal isn't at 6 centimeters, it's the laser level when the tape measure is on top of the metal. So with the tape measure touching the metal, the green line is at 6 centimeters, which is where we want it to be. So I need to do the same on that side. This side is just about at 6 centimeters. I did have to shift the hole a little bit, so just gonna double check on that side and then we can start filling in over here. I'm having to put a bunch of dirt under this to level it. Afterwards, I'm gonna have to double check the level just because it is getting shifted slightly, but we'll double check it before we move on.
Say hi. Say hi. Sit. No. Sit. Yeah, good job.
We moved a lot of caliche and still have a ton more, but we'll just continue tomorrow.
today Monica's dad can join us, so it'll definitely be a faster process. It's a lot easier to see here just how much caliche we needed to add. It takes a lot of wheelbarrow trips to fill these small sections. I've been screeding the surface about a foot at a time, and then when the caliche builds up and is too heavy, I would go in and pull it out of the way. It might be a little hard to see, but we've gotten this whole area filled in between these two poles, all the way down this way to the kitchen wall. There's just a tiny little part here that I need to fill in, and then I need to level out. But that's another huge section that we're done with. We kind of just have that side along over there. And then we have this side that's in front of the door and the window. And then it's gonna be completely dark over here, but we have the two studios left. We actually need to dig out a portion of where Monica's studio is going to be because the ground in there is super compacted, and it's pretty much above the concrete level, so it's not even at the level that we need it to be before we compact it. Like, it's way too high, so we're gonna have to dig that out tomorrow. So we do have some electricity running to the property now, so we did hook up 2 lights here. That kind of just means we'll be able to be here a little bit later at night, getting a little bit more work when it's done. Obviously, we're working a lot in the evenings, so we haven't been able to get a whole lot of work done because we've only had a couple hours of daylight. But now that we have these lights, we should be able to at least get a few more hours of work during the night. So it's been super helpful having those lights tonight.
Hey dog, how are you? You're so cute. Oh my god. Ah!
That's my chair. Turns out that this one got into a ton of trouble while living on the streets and has cancer. So he's gonna need about 4 to 5 weeks of chemotherapy. It's kind of funny taking a dog off the streets and then he has cancer and you gotta treat him, but he's a really sweet dog, super clingy, super fun, has a very interesting personality and a ton of energy. And we're trying to train him and we're going to treat him and get him back to normal so he has a long life. But kind of crazy. I've never had a dog with cancer. The only person I know that's gone through chemotherapy is my mother. So now in the family, it'll be my mother and my dog that has had chemotherapy. You want some treats? Treats? Oh, okay, don't embarrass me. Dog. You want? Come on. Come on. What are you doing? Come on. Okay. Sit. Good boy. Paw? No, paw. Paw. You have to stay sitting and give me paw. Okay? Stay. 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 No. No. Stay. Okay. Hey. You know the treat. It's the treat. The treat.
He doesn't get with the treat.
You're not. That's not how you eat treats. You don't lay in my lap. Sit. Sit. Paw. No. No. That's not how the trick works. I have the treats though. Today's a new day. It's Saturday, and we're starting on this side of the metal pole, filling this in, and then I'm gonna level it out. I dumped a bunch here and kind of started spreading it out, leveling it out, and then I'm gonna use the metal pole to further level it, and just gonna go all the way down. It'll probably take about 1 or 2 more wheelbarrows. It's not a whole lot of space, so it should go fairly quickly. So we now have this whole section done all the way down to the kitchen wall. Obviously it's not perfect. It does go a little bit down when it gets closer to the wall. I think it's good enough. We can leave a little bit of a room for air, but this section's done, this middle section's done. Now I just have on that side in front of the kitchen window and the door. And then that'll pretty much be this entire section from the front to the back of the house done. And then there's just this second section over there where the studios are going to be, and then in the bathroom as well.
The bailarina is not easy to move at all. That's one more section done. Now we can compact it and move on to the studios. The ground level is all over the place in the studios, so it's going to take a lot more caliche to fill in. With extra hands, we were able to easily knock out leveling the ground in the studios.
hard to hear me because of the compactor, but we're here in the bathroom. Previously, we had already started putting some tierra in here to level it out a bit. I don't know if we have too much, but we'll kind of level this out and figure it out. But before we do any of that, we actually have to come in here and use the roto and dig that one out a little bit more. It's a little too high in the ground level, so I'm gonna have to dig it out, get it a little bit deeper so it's below the concrete level properly. So I'm gonna take the roto and we're going to dig it out right here in the wall so that the tubo goes a little bit deeper and it's properly flush with the walls. So I think that this one is better because it now goes into the wall. This fits there and it goes all the way up. The issue is that we're going to need to cut this one and extend it a little bit because when it's in the wall there, it comes out of the wall there and vice versa. So first, we pulled out the blowtorch and heated some of the tubing so we can bend it into place, fitting it into the wall a bit better. And the return of one of my favorite tools, the heat fuser, so we can join the tubing and connectors back together.
So what happened?
It was too short, so to put the extra fitting, it wouldn't reach. So we cut it to make it longer, and then didn't make it long enough. I don't know, another coupling, so it's just a bunch of couplings to extend it. But I don't know, we're almost there. And then we'll be done with the water for now until we, set up the hot water tank and the water pump, install all the plumbing fixings, but that's like after the walls and everything are done. We'll be done with this real quick and then we can finish compacting and then start leveling the bathroom.
We should have filmed this as like The Office.
How's it going?
Huh?
How's it going?
Good. I'm almost done.
Yeah, you've been working so hard.
Yeah.
You totally weren't over there on your phone for like half an hour.
Obviously the bathroom is a much smaller area, but we already have almost all of it leveled. Isn't that right, Moni? It's going a lot quicker because it's a shit ton smaller, so only took like 10 wheelbarrows or something, maybe less. I didn't count. The caliche is now almost completely compacted and ready for the concrete to be poured.
The one that you have in your hand?
Okay.
Also put that thing in the one that you have in your hand.
So after having the ground completely compacted, we realized we forgot to run the gas line for the kitchen stove. Luckily, we caught it before the floor was done because that would have been a major disaster. Time for my suegro to break out the blowtorch and show off his welding skills. A quick and easy couple-hour project and a major crisis averted. The albañil has returned and started to install the concrete forms.
That was one of the birds that was living in our bathroom in the roof.
Unfortunately, they poured the concrete while I was at work, so please enjoy these videos courtesy of Monica's dad.
Excelente.
And now the finished product. The inside of the house is no longer a dirt floor. It's important to help the concrete cure properly by keeping it moist for the first few days. And as you can see, we now have the concrete floor completely poured and finished. This is the culmination of about a month's worth of work getting this floor completely leveled. And as you saw previously, we have gotten most of the stucco done for the house except for the back wall and a little bit left on the side wall. Now, before we could get the doors and windows installed, we do need to get the stucco finished because we do have some window sills that aren't completed, as well as where the back door is going to go. So once the stucco is done, we could come in here, get doors and windows, and completely seal this house up. So it's going to be one of the next things we're working on, along with getting someone to come in here and install the electrical. So if you want to follow along, definitely hit the like button and subscribe to stay up to date on all the progress we're making on our home build here in Mexico. And if you want to check out more, why not go back and watch the video where we got all of the plumbing done for the house, as that was a huge step we needed to finish before we could pour the concrete floor. If you want to check that out, you could see that right here. But beyond that, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.